Hi. Lumaki ako sa probinsya, pero matagal na akong nasa city for work. Tuwing fiesta lang talaga ako umuuwi ng mahaba. This year, umuwi ako kasi birthday ni Mama Close sa fiesta at ang sabi niya, anak, kahit isang linggo lang. Okay naman ang first days. Tumulong sa bahay, grocery, linis, kamustahan sa mga tita. I was functioning but not fully okay. Earlier last year, I got out of a long relationship. Walang third party, walang malaking away, pero masakit pa rin. Parang pareho kaming napagod and I carried that quiet doubt home with me. Dumating yung araw ng barangay program, usual fiesta setup, maliit na stage, tarp, plastic chairs, at sound system na laging may konting feedback. I was there mostly to support mama and my cousin na youth volunteer. Bandang hapon, nag-announce yung host, karaoke contest sa gabi, open for all, may maliit na prize. My cousin looked at me like she had a plan. Ate, sumali ka. I said no. She begged. Mama laughed and joined her. Sige na anak, for fun lang. I gave in. The moment I said yes, sumakit na agad tiyan ko. Gabi na, pila na sa stage. I chose a song na kabisado ko, safe choice. I kept telling myself, kaya ko ito. Then, the host called my name. Pag-akyat ko, parang biglang uminit ang mukha ko. Ang liwanag ng ilaw, kahit silhouettes lang sa una, kita ko pa rin enough faces to feel watched. The music started. First line okay. Second line okay. Tapos biglang suminit yung feedback, yung matinis na squeal. I flinched, my voice cracked, may nag-adjust ng something, tumahimik din. Pero by then, loose na nerves ko. I tried to continue, then my mind went blank. Yung lyrics na kabisado ko, nawala. I look at the screen for the words. Nag-lag. Nag-freeze. I laugh nervously to buy time. People laugh too. Not cruel, but the sound still landed in my chest. Then the worst part, may wire sa floor ng stage na hindi ko napansin. While I shifted my feet, may sandal caught and I half stumbled. Hindi ako tuluyang bumagsak, pero I grabbed the mic stand. Gumalaw yung stand and the mic tapped my mouth with a small talk. Out of panic, I laughed again, too loud, right into the mic. So, the speakers did what speakers do. They amplified my nervous laugh across the whole barangay hall. Parang may echo pa. People laughed harder because they thought it was part of my performance. Gusto kong matunaw. I mumbled, sorry, pero shaky na. I felt my eyes sting. Di ako umiyak, pero sobrang lapit. May sumigaw na, kaya mo yan! Supportive, pero lalo akong na-conscious na lahat nakatingin. I forced myself to finish the song. I don't even remember the notes. I just wanted it to end. Pagbaba ko ng stage, gusto kong umuwi agad. I told my cousin, uwi na tayo. She said, ate, wait, program pa. My chest felt tight, so I walked outside sa gilid ng barangay hall where it was darker and quieter. I tried to breathe and repeat, it's just a fiesta, people will forget. That's when someone followed me. Okay ka lang? Kalm na boses ng lalaki, hindi nosy. I turned and saw him. Nico. Nico was my high school classmate. Not close, but familiar. Tahimik sa room, reliable, Sa group work, the type who lends a pen without making it a big deal. I hadn't seen him in years. I heard he stayed in the province and works in the municipal office, but I didn't expect him there or to notice me. I tried to smile. Okay lang. Nahihiya lang ako. Ang kalat. He didn't laugh. He just nodded, like he understood. Hindi naman kalat. He said, pangit lang talaga yung sound system dito. Promise. Simple line, pero it helped. He wasn't pretending it was perfect, but he also wasn't making me feel like I ruined anything. Then he offered me a bottled water. Bili ko sa labas. Inom ka. I took it. My hands were still shaky. Sorry, I said out of habit. I didn't mean to be dramatic. Nakakaya talaga yung ganun. Pero tapos na. Tomorrow, ibang kwento na. It stuck. We stood there a while, hearing the next singer inside, the crowd cheering, the way fiestas move on fast. Nico asked if I was home for fiesta. I said yes, and for mama. He nodded and said, she's always nice. Then he told me something small that surprised me. He remembered mama giving extra rice during school feeding programs. That detail softened me. May mga kindness pala na naiiwan kahit hindi mo napapansin and someone remembers. We talk about work, traffic, how the town changed. No bragging, no trying to impress, just normal. After a bit, he asked, gusto mo bumalik sa loob? Or pahinga muna, maybe later. I said. He nodded. I can stay here for a bit para hindi ka mag-isa. Not romantic agad. More like someone choosing kindness without asking anything. When I felt calmer, we went back inside. I sat with my family again, avoiding the stage. Nico sat a few chairs away, like he didn't want to crowd me. Respectful. After the program, my cousin teased, Ate, viral ka na. I shot her a look and she stopped. Nico caught my eye and smiled slightly, like, it's fine. Before I left, he approached. Inat, if you need anything, message mo lang ako. We weren't even friends on social media, but he said it like it was normal. I gave him my number, partly to be polite, partly because I didn't know how to say thank you properly. That night, I thought I'd replay the humiliation until I fell asleep. Instead, I kept thinking about how he didn't laugh at me, how he treated my embarrassment like something real. Next day, fiesta activities again. I went out to buy ice and bread. At the sari-sari store, I saw Nico buying soft drinks. He waved. Okay ka na? Okay na, I said. He offered to walk me home because it was hot and my arms were full. Along the way, we talked more. I admitted city life can be lonely. You're surrounded by people, but you feel unseen. He listened. He shared he used to want to leave the province, but when his dad got sick years ago, he stayed. In the sacrifice story, he said quickly, it just made sense. I like that. No big speeches, just reality. Over the next days, we kept bumping into each other because small town, bakery, church, plaza. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes longer. Once, he helped mama carry trays to a neighbor. He didn't act like a hero. He just helped. One afternoon, he asked if I wanted halo-halo sa plaza. I said yes. We sat under a tree, watching kids run around, listening to the usual chatter and tricycles. He said, I remember you used to sing sa classroom. Kapag may group activity, game ka. Kaya nung nakita kita kagabi, I thought maybe you just got overwhelmed. I said, I used to be more fearless. What happened? He asked. I didn't plan to talk about my breakup. Pero the question was simple and his face looked curious, not intrusive. So I told him in a careful way, long relationship, no big scandal, just ended. I told him how it made me doubt myself, like maybe I was too much or not enough, and how I came home still carrying that tiredness. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he said, I'm sorry you went through that. That's it. No advice disguised as comfort. Just acknowledgement. Then he added, but you're still you. Yung version lang na pagod. It hit close because yes, I felt like I was just tired. After that, I started looking forward to seeing him. Not teenage kilig, more like relief. Like my brain had a quiet place to rest. One night, may maliit na gathering sa bahay ng tita ko. Food, kwentuhan, karaoke. I was determined to never touch a mic again. Then, my younger cousin asked me to sing with her. Duet lang. I almost said no, but Nico was there with the adults. He looked up and said, if you don't want, okay lang. But if you want, I think you can do it. No pressure. Just support. So I did. Duet. Simple song. My voice still shook a little, but I finished. People clapped, warm and casual. I sat down with my heart pounding, and I realized the humiliation from the stage wasn't the point anymore. The point was, I didn't run away from the next moment. After that night, Nico walked me to our gate. The street was quiet, may konting music from other houses, and the smell of grilled food in the air. I'm glad you sang, he said. Duet lang kasi, I answered. He smiled, still counts. Then he hesitated, like he was choosing his words. Can I ask you something? Not about your ex, about you. I said, okay. Do you think you can still be happy here? Like, not forever. But even for a while, I didn't know why the question felt bigger than it sounded. On my last day in town, I felt that familiar sadness of leaving. City life was waiting, commute, deadlines, stress. I didn't want to turn everything into a big confession story, so I kept it normal. But Nico asked if we could talk before I left. We sat on our front steps late at night. Mama was asleep inside. Streetlights on, dogs barking far away. He said, I don't know how to say this nicely, so I'll say it straight. I like you. Not because of what happened on stage. I like talking to you. I like that you show up even when you feel embarrassed. My chest tightened, but in a different way. I said, I like you too, but I'm scared. He nodded. Valid. I laughed a little. Favorite word mo, he said, smiling. I'm not asking for a promise, he continued. I'm asking if we can try slowly, with respect. No movie lines, just a clear request and a quiet hope. So I said yes, not a forever yes. Just, we can try. I went back to the city. We kept in touch. Messages at first, then calls. He didn't demand my time. He didn't get offended when I got busy. He would say, rest. Message me when you can. I found myself doing the same for him. A few weeks later, I visited again. Not for fiesta, just to see my family and to see him. It felt steady. Sometimes I still remember that stage moment and I cringe. But now, when I remember it, I also remember the person who followed me outside, offered water, and didn't make my embarrassment smaller than it was. I used to think love had to arrive with fireworks or a big speech. I'm learning that sometimes it starts with someone saying, okay ka lang? And meaning it. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for more stories. Once again, I'm Lechon and I'll see you next time.